The hardest challenge I've ever had to overcome, the obvious answer would be surviving sexual assault at 19, because it literally killed who I was. And I've had to, I can't even say rise from the ashes, because the ashes scattered. I had to recreate my soul. Likes are different, interests are different, fears are different. I have scars that you can see and scars you can't see. But it took me a long time to be okay with the difference and stop mourning the person I was before.
Welcome to episode 13 of the Best of Me podcast with myself, Samora, right here on the interwebs, a small community where we try to take a look at self-love and self-respect through reevaluating our relationships with vices like alcohol, drugs, sex, interpersonal relationships, gambling, etc. Now, it has been a great couple of months.
Yeah.
I do also feel a little bit nervous because I haven't done this in about a month, right?
Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit nervous because we haven't done this in about a month, but it was great to take the time off. And thank you to you for allowing me to take the time off. And we're back. First shoot of 2026. And for that, I decided that it was very important that we bring back my friend Swankie, who was on episode 2, for us to be able to get a little bit of an update on her journey and for her to just chat about what it's like actually being sober, and specifically about other topics that we're going to be delving into in relation to her sobriety. Friend, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I just got scared when you're like, other topics that we're going to be delving into.
I mean, they're all literally around your sobriety or our sobriety.
I like that. Because you've also been pushing this mission.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to celebrate.
Yes.
First of all, I was doing the calculations now and I was like, I think I've been sober for about 9 months now.
What?
Yeah, I think it's been 9 months. It'll be a full year in April.
Okay, we have to throw something for that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But also, we need to also celebrate your sobriety.
Yay!
How long has it been now?
It's been 4 months this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
I mean, I never, I look back and I think to myself, hey, my boyfriend was telling me something the other day. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to thank God for. He's like, how's about the fact that you've been sober for 4 months?
Yeah.
And I was like, why? He's like, because at some point, nobody ever thought that you would be.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah. And it's cool.
It is cool.
I mean, I'm bouncing off the walls.
Of that natural high.
Of that natural high, not the other high. And isn't there something else that we should be celebrating?
I think there might also be another thing that we're celebrating. So when you see this episode, it will be on the 14th of January. And some of you might be seeing it a little bit later, but on the 15th of January, it is my birthday.
Woohoo!
So I thought it was very imperative that we also celebrate that.
I like that. This is a happy birthday.
This is a happy birthday.
Can I share something with you that's so weird?
Sure.
The 15th, that's what I said this week. The 15th is your birthday. The 15th is my sobriety 4 months. No, take mine. Kanda Kulu. How am I going to do this? Does it work?
I've got another one.
It kind of feels, it's giving Nefertiti.
Yeah.
It's giving Nefertiti. I don't know if I'm going to take it off. Okay, I might take it off during the interview. But for now, it's giving the crown of my head.
I don't think this is going to work.
I think it's meant for kids.
I think so too. No, it's not going to work.
You broke it. Okay, it's fine.
And I've got...
Happy birthday to you.
Wait, before we sing, let's bring out the cake.
Okay. Let's do that. Ooh, girl. Look at me almost squashing the cake. Here we go, my love.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
There we go.
Guys, if it's not a Woolies cake,
wow.
what is it? I feel like Woolies should be your next sponsor.
I feel like they should.
I feel like they should be. Because what we're going to be beveraging on today, I think, and this cake. Can I do this?
Yes, knock yourself out.
Una one. Yeah. Una two. When are we going to get to 33?
Okay. Let's get the candles going.
Oh, man. Would you look at that 33 years of grace? Oh, my gosh. This is your Jesus age.
Yeah, it is my Jesus
This is your
age.
Jesus age. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully, I'm gonna go past the Jesus age. I'm not gonna.
You definitely will.
Now we can sing.
Happy birthday to you.
Your way
Happy birthday
to me,
you.
your way.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy heart 33. Happy birthday to you. Yippee!
So,
Hooray!
I think in the tradition of birthdays, one needs to make a wish.
Absolutely. Ah, that's beautiful. I wish you more sobriety, more excellence, great things at the gym, great things in your career, great things in
the gym.
Yeah, because you're so dedicated to the gym. I feel like ever since you become so sober, like I don't know if people know you're so dedicated to the gym.
Yeah. I think one of the things also, because, and it's probably something we're going to delve into in this conversation, the thoughts of backsliding are always there.
Dude.
There is that thing of getting tired sometimes. And my one thing is, even over December, I said to myself, keep showing up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, even if you just do a 10-minute walk on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But just to keep that rhythm going, just to keep that, I guess, routine going, and then work on the motivation again to start working out fully. And it was really great because when I landed in Johannesburg, you know, I felt that motivation come back, which is really weird because a lot of the time before it used to be the opposite. It used to be the inverse.
Yeah.
I'd get to Johannesburg and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm
not
back
this
here.
place again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also I believe that the work that I've done on myself in making sure that my happiness is not external, that my contentment is not external, that I'm grateful and I'm always just operating from a point of gratitude, that my happiness now comes from inside. It doesn't matter where I am.
Yeah.
And now I can actually see the opportunity in being in Johannesburg. I can see the opportunity in landing and immediately going to a casting because I'm trying to start the year off right.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's really been a great first week back in the city.
I like that.
So, Swanks, let's kick it off.
Talk
the cake
to me.
We'll have later. I think you know the drill already.
I come again.
So, what's your poison?
My poison. Oh, is this internally?
No.
Oh, to drink. I was all like, well, I ain't got no poison this time around. Except for the lack of discipline. Oh my God. What we speak about. Let's start with that. I would like a ruby grapefruit. Because you were telling me about it.
I was telling you about it. It's actually fantastic.
I actually do the cranberry Cosmo because it makes me feel like I am drinking the Cosmo. I see it on the table. Oh, I see one.
There we go.
Thank you.
And I'll have the same, actually. If I can find it.
I see one on the table.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, sehr gut.
Yeah, sehr gut. Tico. There we go.
Ooh-wee! Ha!
Ha. If you don't know, now you know.
Continue.
Okay, cool. So I was saying it's a lack of motivation. So I've been...
No, I was not talking about that. I was saying continue with the lyrics of the song.
How someone...
If you don't know, now you know.
Nigger. I'm trying to be serious here and you're trying to take me back.
Okay, so Swanks, of course, let's close this. As you know, a lot of the time when we say what's your order, we take it as a drinks order. What's your poison?
Yeah.
We take it as a drinks order. But a lot of the time there are things that eat at us from the inside, internally, whether it's world issues, whether it's things internally that, you know, we're just struggling with. So with that said, I'll ask you the question again.
Yeah.
What is your poison?
Right now, it's lack of motivation.
Uh-huh.
Like I've been playing around with doing this thing called 75-day heart challenge.
Yes.
Right. And it's more of a discipline thing. And I failed the first time I did it, like, because I was never sober. You know, there was an accountability group, right? So
yes.
you had to put no alcohol. You had to take
and you keep saying
no alcohol, no I kept taking no alcohol, but I was having shots, babes. Shots and still working out, by the way. Yeah, I was still doing the 45-minute times 2 workouts, but the hardest part was not drinking.
So how do you work out drunk?
Proper. You work out drunk, you sober up again, you go and you sweat it off, you go back and you get drunk again. I had the mandate.
So you've been sober for 4 months now.
Yeah.
I think let's talk a little bit about some of the changes that you have seen in your sobriety.
Lovely. I like that question. I'm more bouncy. I was so scared of losing my personality. I think I spoke to you about it. I was so scared of being like boring, and I find I'm more of myself than I was when I was like, when I was in active addiction. I am bouncier. I am getting things done. I mean, I wrote a play.
Yeah.
I am applying for grants. I'm going back to school. There's so much, man. I'm in a better space to be a better partner. I'm a better daughter. Like, my mom and I are having solid chats, and it's just so beautiful. I'm a better friend. I'm a better sister.
It's funny when you say you're a better daughter. I spent a month at home.
Yeah.
In East London. And I spent a lot of time with my mom. And I got to realize my mom is actually hilarious. Like, actually, genuinely, lots of fun. But of course, when you are drinking, and that's your primary thing, and all you want to do is get out of the house to go and be in a space where people are not going to try and hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And you can just do whatever you want. You're not going to see that. You're not going to enjoy that.
You're going to miss that because you don't want to be around the people that hold you accountable.
Exactly. So we got to spend a lot of time together, and I was just like, we're constantly laughing in this house, and that was really
so
such
beautiful.
A beautiful thing,
That's so beautiful. I find with my mom, she's got a bit of she reminds me of myself. I'm getting to know that, like, hilarious. I mean, I think my friends know it more than me because I was always like, oh, my mom. But like hilarious to the core, and also like very jabby. Like she throws jabs, and I'm like, is this you?
But it's also easier for you to receive the jabs now because
yeah,
you're not coming from a defensive point.
Yeah, I was always you'd be always defensive when you were like in active addiction, like all the time. You'd be like, hi, I'd be like, yo, Angie. No, and it's like, it's serious. It's like, there's so many things, like even in relationships, man, the way that you relationship when you are for me, it's an active addiction.
Yes.
I want to point that out. For other people, just maybe when they're not sober.
Yeah.
The way you respond, it's like, they'll be like, oh, why is that chair sitting over there? What do you mean? Why is the chair sitting there? Do you think I'm responsible for the chair? So all the time, and it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
We're not fighting the defenses. So I find in relationships, man, it's so much more better to be sober because you get to hear the other person. Yeah.
You get to hear them, you get to internalize, and you get to have internal conversations with yourself about what is being said.
Yeah.
Before you actually react.
Absolutely.
Because we're so quick to want to respond, because I guess the constant mode is that you feel like you always have to defend this behavior. People don't understand why you're acting the way that you're acting.
Yeah.
They don't understand why you need to drink and all of those things. So I guess it comes from that point as well. There are a lot of things that change when someone is sober. And we've spoken a little bit about the positives.
Yeah.
However, just like this t-shirt, I mean, soberish, which might mean kind of sober, but also means sober-ish as in sober shit, because the shit that comes with being sober.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of challenges that come with being sober.
Wow.
Because you need to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You need to have the hard conversations with yourself and other people.
Sure.
You need to take accountability. You need to realize that some of the breakdowns in the relationships that broke down were because of your own behavior. You need to realize that, I mean, one of the things I had to speak to myself about was that as much as I've been working for 13 years, I feel like this is my first year working.
Yeah.
Because I wasted so much time.
And money.
And money.
Sure.
And because immediately when you go to an event, the first thing you're looking for is the bar.
Yeah.
And you're hanging out at the bar the whole night, and you're not meeting the relevant people. You're not networking. You're not aligning with things.
That's so crazy because I used to think I was more confident when I was drinking.
Yeah.
And I realized in retrospect that what I was doing is I spent so much time at the bar. Then I became so self-conscious of me being drunk in my tongue that I would be so scared to approach the people I was meant to approach. Because, so I've gone to this event, at this Netflix event. There are all these people I want to speak to. I spent so much time at the bar thinking that I'm going to unwind and then get the chutzpah to go and speak to the people, only for me to find out that I'm now judging myself and I'm in my head, not being able to go speak to them because I'm like, am I going to stutter? Am I falling over myself? How am I, what, do they know that I'm drunk?
Yeah.
So I never networked. And that was crazy.
That is crazy, So now I'm doing things that align with my passions, that align with what I feel might be my purpose right now. And my satisfaction or gratification comes from that,
Yeah.
So it's just so much better. But there are things that come with being sober that are not going to be spoken about because they're not necessarily always going to be the thing that draws people to sobriety.
Yeah.
It's the challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you've probably seen in your own life that come with being sober?
The challenges that come, having to face myself. Having to face myself every day. Like, I'm an overthinker to the core.
Yes.
And that hasn't stopped now that I'm sober. It's actually more elevated. That's one of the issues. Some of the things are just being scared of relapsing, man. Is that some of the, is that a challenge?
That is a major challenge.
Is that a challenge? Yeah. Just being scared of relapsing. I'm so scared to disappoint the people around me, yet I know that I'm actually not going to. Like, I know that I'm not going to go back to drinking alcohol, but in the same breath, I'm so scared that I'm going to like mess up. Another challenge, I think, what else would it be? Another challenge would be thinking rationally all the time and not thinking emotionally.
Yeah.
I find that generally as a person, I'm led by my emotions. And that would be really heightened when I was drunk. And now that I'm sober, before I even want to lead with my emotions, there's that thing that stops me. So that's a challenge. It's like I want to be like, but sobriety kind of creates a wall before I even get there. And that's hard because I'm fighting myself. I don't know if it makes sense, but I hope it does.
One of the things that I've found for me, and I mean, I think everybody here knows that I've been single for 4 years.
Yeah.
28th of December. Now it was officially 4 years.
Shucks.
And it has definitely been sober dating.
Okay, tell me more.
Because I don't think I've ever dated
Sober.
And when I say dating, I don't mean being in a relationship. I mean going out and meeting people.
I love that.
So now, first of all, where I'm meeting people is different, right? I mean, I still go out sometimes and there'll be people that you might meet and that you might like and whatever. But I find that I am so much more, not necessarily reserved. I am a bit more reserved because I think now before I go and start a conversation.
Yeah.
But also, behavior yabanye bantu, things I would have probably excused before
are non-excusable
now. For instance, you'll meet someone and then you guys will hang out and then someone gets a little bit too drunk and then start being a little bit possessive or jealous, and now you're like, not seeing you again. Or the fact that before it was easier to meet someone in the club and the next thing you're making out. Now it's like, I'm not doing that.
It's like, where do you start?
Yeah.
Like, I walked into Liquid Blue the other day.
Yes.
And if you know me, you know the story. Liquid Blue. Anyway, I walked in and it was at night. I was driving past Melbourne. I was like, let me just see if it's still the same thing. And I walked in and I just saw you know, when you're sober and you see the behavior of other people, but you see yourself, those people making out on the corner, those ones that are touchy-feely that you know just met for the first time,
Yes.
those ones that are grinding on each other at the dance floor that are probably going to end up in the toilets making out, the ones that have already caught each other and they're making plans to go home together. Because now you're sober, you're able to look at those things and you realize, I did that.
That was me. And now you sit there and you have this conversation with yourself and you're like, I'm so glad that I'm sober because I
don't want to do that.
Yeah, and and also, you know, Swanks, when people have these ideas of who you are, right? I've also realized that the tides are not going to turn immediately.
Yeah.
Because there are things that we did when we weren't sober that put ideas in people's minds of who we are.
Yeah.
And it might be from a professional perspective, it might be from a social perspective, but people have this idea of who Swankie is and who Samora is. And sometimes those ideas are based off of instances or encounters when we were drunk.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a very long time for them to, you know, kind of remove that idea.
Listen, in the study, it says it takes 15 seconds to make a first impression and 15 years for you to undo that. And I always teach that to my clients when I teach public speaking. So you can imagine how many years people need in order to unlearn or for them to have a different perspective of you. I know there's still people that look at me and go, we now sazopuza. Or people that like at work, I was at an audition and someone who I used to drink with on a job, I won't mention which job it was, but we used to have a few sips in between scenes back in the day.
Yeah.
He's like to me at the audition, hey, so Swankie, where's the tequila? And I was like, it's in front of people. First of all, and second of all, I'm not that person anymore.
Exactly.
But having to explain that, he was like, yeah, you are. And I was like, I guess I'm always going to have to fight that until people really spend time with me and they realize this one is really not having a drink.
Yeah.
She's going to drink her grapefruit, ruby fruit, and she's going to be fine. But it's going to take a long time to undo.
You are in a relationship.
Yay.
That man has seen you in both phases of your life.
Jesus.
We spoke about that in the first episode that you were on. And one of the conversations that we've had since, you know, I think for me, we were talking about some of the difficulties now managing the relationship in sobriety. Because there are a lot of things you can do or you feel like you can do when you're drinking, but then now and oftentimes you're led by the liquid courage or this or whatever. Now there are certain things that you need to do, and you need to do cognitively and you need to do actively within the relationship space. And I think we were speaking about, or you were just kind of going off and
as usual.
And what I remember is, I think you said you're not sure if you enjoy sex sober.
Oh, you went there?
So let's first start off with,
okay.
Are you guys still celibate? Because I remember there was a period of celibacy.
No, we're definitely still celibate until marriage.
Yes.
Yes, that's another thing that came with my sobriety. Not even that came with my sobriety. The decision was made from the get-go. I mean, we are a Christian couple. However, we started off engaging in sex, and then there's something called the Holy Spirit, man, and the Holy Spirit convicts you, and we were just like, this is not going to work. Yeah. So we're still celibate, and it's going well, even though we live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live together and we celibate.
How do you manage that?
Discipline.
Okay.
Discipline and boundaries. And it's so much easier to follow that now that I'm sober.
Yeah.
Because I'd be the one, I want and he'd be like, no, he's a very disciplined man. So, and it helps that we fasted a lot, you know, and part of our fasts before, while we were not celibate, was fasting sex. So it just feels like a really, really long fast.
Yeah.
That, you know, that we were undergoing. But I'm also learning that I'm getting to know him a lot more better. You know, it's intimacy in other ways.
Yes.
You know, it's the taking the walks, it's the gymming together, it's the doing physical stuff together, it's the sitting on the couch and holding hands and watching a movie.
It's the resolving fights and disagreements properly.
Instead of driving out at 3 o'clock in the morning and going to Ndicho to go and get a drink.
Apart from that, but also because a lot of the time we'll use sex to reconnect.
That's true.
Instead of actually having the conversation,
that's true,
talking things out and resolving issues properly.
Yeah.
Without actually just
using it as a vice.
Yes.
A lot of people do
escapism.
That. Yeah.
You know, from there's tension in the house. Okay.
Let's have sex.
Yeah.
And then we wake up the next day and we've had sex and we're on a sex high, and the thing is that, and that's what happens, you're on a sex high and then nothing has been resolved.
Yes.
And then you have to circle back to the exact same issue. Now we're talking about it and we're praying about things.
Yeah.
Which is the way God had designed it. You know what I mean? That's the way God wanted it to be, according to me.
So tell me about the differences between drunk sex and sober sex.
Wow. Have I had sex sober? Possibly.
Okay.
Sober. Okay, so I'm gonna open up about something. Sober sex for me is very intimidating.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Second of all, I'm not as confident as I would be with the liquid courage. And third of all, I'm very self-conscious. But that comes from old traumas. I am a rape survivor. And that has really influenced the way in which I see sex and the way in which I have been commissioned into sex. Can I even say that?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Introduced into it, because my first encounter was that assault. So I spent so much time trying to figure out, am I a virgin? Am I not a virgin? Because of the assault, like what's going on? I didn't know, to a point where a friend of mine, oh God bless her soul, Apelele Tongo, was like, we were in high school and she's like, friend, she's from Zululand. She's like, friend, should I test you? I'm like, you want to stick your fingers up my vagina? She's like, should I test you? I can test you. So that's how my relationship with sex started. And then I went through a phase where I was celibate, and because it had to be celibacy because I'd already broken my virginity. But it wasn't like I wanted to have sex. I just had to call it celibacy because I'd had sex before without my consent.
Yeah.
So after that, when I broke the celibacy, I started going on a drinking binge. I'll never forget, I was 21 when I actually started actively engaging in sex. And I just lost my dad and I was spiraling out, and I was like, you know what, whatever. And all of those times I was confident and I was bossy, and I could choose when to close off. You know what I mean? I had this thing where we'd have sex, but you can't get too close to me. Once you get too close to me, I close you off. There was a control element that liquid.
When you say you can't get too close to me, did you mean emotionally or did you mean physically?
All of it, whatever I felt in that moment.
Okay.
I wanted to control everything. But at the same time, I was loose in the sense that if I was with you, I would try a lot of different stuff, you know. So there was always that fight between each other, and I feel like it's so important to highlight because alcohol gives us courage to do things that we wouldn't normally do when we're sober.
Yes.
Sober Swankie understands her traumas and her pasts. Drunk Swankie has thrown herself into this thing and uses the alcohol to sort of like mask the pain. Then you forget about it. Then you have sex the next day, and then you're just like, you're feeling a little bit icky. So that was my relationship with drunk sex. I mean, we've made a lot of bad decisions when it comes to sex when we're drunk. I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, it was fun. I felt free. For me, it was freedom. It was self-expression. It was me taking pussy power back and being the feminist that I thought that I was. Sober sex, that's a different story. I'm yet to experience that in marriage. I've been thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. And not because I don't like my partner, but because I don't know if I've worked enough. And I think this is the time now before we get married, enough on myself to be able to say that I can be confident in sober sex and in allowing someone in and realizing that this is a thing that was designed for people that are married, that are well, if you believe in that, for people that are married and for people that are meant to connect in a specific way. And I still have things I haven't dealt with and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But luckily enough, I've spoken to my partner about it.
I think one thing I didn't know, because now when you mentioned Wapelele and you mentioned high school, did the assault take place whilst you were in high school?
Yes, I was 17. 17th of September, 2011.
That
I'll never forget that.
I thought you were in varsity.
Oh, really? No, friend. I mean, I've told you the story.
You've told me the story, but
yeah.
I thought it was...
I was in high school.
That's
the NSA.
That sets it very differently. I don't know if you're willing to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Alcohol induced.
Yeah.
Alcohol induced. I used to hang out with these girls, man, these hot girls at NSA, and we used to have these old guys come and pick us up, right? So I was the one that everybody knew was a virgin. So you can't touch Swankie, but Swankie parties with us because she's got the long legs and she's skinny and she looks like a model. And it was a weekend. I used to go with my friend Nomfundo back home, and that weekend I wanted to go out drinking with my friends. I was dating a guy. I nearly said his name. He was in the industry. He's a very famous actor and musician. I was dating.
You know too much.
You know too much.
I'm the drama. I know too much.
You are the drama. That's why you're laughing. I was dating him, and I then had told him that he would take me back home the next day.
Yeah.
Or he would take me back. I was actually meant to be taken home the Friday. So they order absinthe. I don't know if you know absinthe.
I know absinthe.
They order absinthe and they order straw rum.
Oh.
I know. So we got and we chilled these guys at UJ. And there's certain parts of the stories I just can't get into because I don't want to get that emotional right now. But I will tell it and I'll give the story justice. We go hang out with these boys from UJ in Brixton, drink this absinthe and whatever. I pass out. Pass out, and I remember saying, it's 8 o'clock. My mom is expecting me, but I was so drunk. So this
is what, 8 p.m.?
8 p.m. But I was drunk. I couldn't hold myself together. But in that, because I have respect for my mom, I call my friend's boyfriend. So my friend who is drinking with me at the time, who's still continuing, I call her man because he's trustworthy. She says to me, I can call her man. I call her man, and then I go, hey, please can you come pick me up? Ganje, ganje, ganje. I was wearing a white dress, like pretty much like this, wearing a white dress. Please can you come and pick me up? I don't end up calling, I nearly said his name again, the musician that I'm dating, because Pakistani was playing South Africa that day in cricket, and him and his mom, closer guys, him and his mom wanted to watch.
You're revealing so much.
Oh. I will end there. Him and his mom like to watch cricket a lot. So I would have never called him because he was not going to, pick up. So I call her boyfriend and she's like, it's fine. The boyfriend comes to pick me up and he says, but let's go past News Cafe at Campus Square.
Campus Square, yes.
News Cafe, Campus Square. I go past there and I swear to God, do you see how this glass is? I have a storm. And I'm still sober because they dropped the guys, the Brixton guys dropped me off at that guy, and I'm still whatever. I'm wearing a jacket from one of the boys, and I'm like, okay, he writes, I think I can go home. He writes, I think I can go home. I'm cognizant. I get there, I have drink a storm in Gaga, and I can't remember anything else. I remember being in a car, and him saying he was taking me home. But I was looking and I was like, this is not the way home. I kept saying Snare, his name is Snare. Wish I could say his full name. Snare, this is not the way home. Snare, this is not the way home. And then I'd pass out and thing again, pass out and wake up again, pass out. So everything comes back in flashbacks. And once if you've ever been roofied, your memory comes back.
Yeah.
It took me over 3 to 4 years to fully be cognizant and put the story together for myself. I end up at this guy's place, and all I remember is do I remember going in? I remember a gate being opened. I remember shouting and saying, this is not my house. but feeling too sleepy and just asking for a bed. And then I remember clearly, and this was a memory that came later on, because on the day afterwards, I couldn't remember anything. I remember clearly a man sleeping next to me on one side and one heaving on top of me. And I think I tried to fight him off, but I couldn't. So when I woke up in the morning at 7, I've got a pounding headache. I'm in this bed. I'm not at home. I'm shit scared. My mom doesn't know where I am. My phone is off. It was just difficult. This guy, I wake up and my underwear is on the floor. So obviously that's very telling.
Yeah.
But I'm a virgin and Swankie would have never allowed for that. But I wake up and I've started my period. How? Kanjani, because this is not my period time. Not knowing that once you've broken your virginity, there's blood there. So I'm in pain. My thighs are absolutely sore. There's just nothing, but this memory of this guy heaving doesn't come. I'm just shouting at him and my white dress has got red on it now and I can't. And he gives me these cargo pants. I'm like, I need to go home. I need to go home. I need to charge my phone. My mom. So I call my boyfriend. And he goes, South Africa's still playing. Come on, I'm like, please take me home. So he meets me, and I couldn't tell him. He meets me at hostel at school. This guy gave me $20 to take a taxi from Melville. I will never forget. $20 to take a taxi from Melville to NSA. I remember walking up that hill, and my thighs were sore. Got to school, and the rumor was Swankie slept with this guy's boyfriend. Swankie slept with this guy. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. I don't even know if I'm still a virgin at this time. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So he comes to pick me up and he's like, what happened? And I can't explain. So I go to my friend's house, Nomfundo. My mom doesn't let me into the house. My mom blames him for everything. He takes the downfall. I'll never, I'll always forgive him for that. I'll always love him for that. He takes the downfall as if he was the one responsible for me not sleeping at home, but yet he wasn't. And I couldn't tell him what had happened because I was embarrassed. I go to my friend Nomfundo's and I explain to her that my back is sore, my thighs are sore. And she says, I think you've been raped. And I go, I think so too. But I didn't do anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it. My mom was upset with me and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the friend tried to hlola me. She couldn't because I refused. And how I found out that I wasn't a virgin anymore was a year later. I tried to please this boyfriend that I was, because he knew that we were waiting for marriage, that I was with, who was in the industry. And we ended up having sex before I started my celibacy. I think it was a matric. This happened in September 2011, 2012. I tried to have sex with him and he stopped in the middle and he was like, something's off. I was like, what? He was like, you're not a virgin. And I broke down and I cried. And then I told him the full story from that day and he was mad. He was like, how could a man do this to you? What? Blah. You were waiting for marriage. Blah, 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 blah. Like he was pissed off. He was like, let's go find him. And I was like, no. Because the guy kept trying to call me while I was at school. And I think it was a guilty conscience. And I'd saved his numbers. What the fuck are you calling me for? But he had tried calling me all of this time. And everybody at the school had even called this guy that I was dating in the industry to tell him what a hoe I was. And he was the only one who knew the true story. So then after that, he never wanted to have sex with me again. And I didn't want to have sex, but we still continued dating because he was like, it's wrong. It was like, it's wrong. And yeah, that's when I went into my celibacy and yeah. Wow, I've never told that story out so publicly. Let's have a drink. Wow. All right.
First of all, thank you for that. I think a lot of people probably needed to hear that. But I think also we need to hear there's probably a lot of self-deprivation that goes through your mind because of that, especially in the first years. Blaming yourself.
Absolutely.
The inability to connect with other people. and then also leading to probably the dangerous behavior,
Yeah.
and the drinking and stuff like that.
Associated with alcohol.
Yeah, and the trauma. How has that played a part in your life from then to now?
It's played a huge part. I don't even know where to start. It's played a huge part, man. It's navigated how intimacy is for me, how it's supposed to be. That's why I say to you, I don't know what it's gonna be like when I have sex sober.
Yeah.
Because you see, the alcohol was masking that. Every time I was drunk, I would allow people to touch me.
Yes.
Because I would forget about the trauma. But sober Swankie was very restricted with her body. Like, don't, I don't, and the alcohol just gives you it was like, okay, it's okay if you want to kiss me. It's okay if you want to. But also the next day, it would always be hard for me because I'd always have this fight with like, is it the right thing? Is it not? I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's weird.
Now, with that, do you ever doubt those connections? Do you feel like those connections were genuine?
I do.
Okay,
no. Let's be honest. There's some connections that were not.
Mm.
Some connections that were not. That I doubted, and I was like, I look at it in retrospect because I like to look after having sex. I always go, what did we do there? I was like, no, that wasn't. But there are genuine people where I can count and say these were genuine connections, and we reach certain levels of intimacy that and that's normally the people that I share with, that I have been assaulted or have been raped. So and I do it from the beginning of the relationship. If I see that it's going to get serious, I tell you from the beginning, it's your choice if you want to stay or walk away. I do it to protect myself, and I do it so that you understand that if there are moments and times in sex and intimacy where I am a little bit blocked, or there's a part that you're trying to reach that you can't, it's because of this thing that has happened to me. So, yeah. Shame the way you're looking at me. Am I still wearing my birthday hat?
You are still wearing your birthday hat. The thing is, there are also so many things that I planned for us to speak about. This was certainly not.
Yeah, and have I eaten the time?
Yeah, man. It's. And a lot of the time, Swankie, like as much as you were still a child.
Yeah.
But you were an older child.
I was an older child.
There are many people out there who have been victims at a much younger age.
Very younger.
Who at that time struggled to even fathom what just happened to them. And now there are these difficulties that they are going through in their lives in terms of intimacy and connecting with a partner, and having to rely on substances to be able to connect with their partners.
Absolutely.
And sometimes also the dangerous behavior that people exhibit, where now umdu is promiscuous because. And I mean, there's psychology there that would need to be delved into. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't want to.
Absolutely, you and I both.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to speak on that level. But you want to recreate the trauma, but in an environment that you can control, so that you can try to rewrite
your story.
The story. So when we speak about promiscuity, there's certain fetishes that people have which relate to traumas that they've had. But now it is in an environment that you get to control and you get to rewrite the story.
Because it's agency. It's that thing that I was talking about. It's like when I'd want to control how things happened in the bedroom because I was not given the control. I always thought, like my friends always knew that Swankie's going to be the girl that breaks her virginity when she's married. And that wasn't my story. So part of the wanting to control what happens in the bedroom was that agency. But I went about it the wrong way. It was feminist power, pussy power, this power, this. But that's what made me feel strong enough to be able to, I mean, I've bumped into my rapist about 3 times now. And every single time was a reminder. I mean, he's been my Uber driver at some point. Yeah.
Did you cancel?
No.
Okay.
I knew he was coming. See, I've got a thing where I look at him, because and he gets nervous, I look at him straight in the face. And I remember getting into the Uber, my boyfriend dropped me another Xhosa guy, and he was like, Mfowethu, please can you take care of her? And I just remember...
Black citron.
Huh?
I was asking.
Who's that?
Black citron?
Black citron?
Black citron?
No, not black. No, not black citron. Oh my gosh, you know too many things. Tall. Used to live in Marshalltown when I used to live in Melville Estates, but you might not know him because you were in Cape Town.
Yes.
But I'll tell you about him. So he dropped me off in the car, and my Uber used to be in Ntombi because it was my mom's name, so not Swankie. And he saw Ntombi, and he was expecting a Ntombi, and I saw Snare. So I saw his picture, and he was 11 minutes away. He was the only Uber in Marshalltown, and I needed to take it, so I took it. And I got into the car, and he said, "How have you been?" I just looked at him, and I was like, "I was fine." And he's like, "Are you okay? I see you've been doing well on TV." And I said, "Why are you stalking me?" Like, I'm not. Then the whole drive was awkward, and then I used to live in Melville Estates, and we got to the gate. There's a point where you can press your number to enter, and I said to him, "I don't want you to know where I stay." So for me, it's like I don't even know how I got there. I'm trying to remember how I got to even facing my rapist. Oh yes, I've got this thing. I was saying I've got this thing where I like to look at things in the face. You know what I mean? I like to look at things in the face and not shy away from it. So with him and with my rape, the part of the agency was not shying away from the fact that I'd been violated, but it took me years to be able to use the words rape.
Yeah.
It took me about 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, some other people might look at their situations and say, yeah, I consented, right? But they don't realize that by virtue of the fact that you were so young, that it was indeed statutory rape, which then creates this really difficult conversation that you then need to have with yourself at a much later stage, where you're trying to take accountability for some of your actions, but you also need to understand that at some point that was a violation.
Yeah.
And that can cause issues within your own intimacy. And that is probably something that we would need to unpack and delve into at a later stage.
I feel like we're always having conversations like, yeah, we need to go back and unpack. Like, this is gonna need another. There's a lot. Yes, talk to me.
We were here to chat about your updates.
Yes.
You had a medical procedure
on my bum.
On your bum, an implant to help you on this journey of sobriety.
Yeah.
And before we got here, you asked me a question. We were at Woolworths at the counter, and you said, "Do you think if I stopped my implant, I would still be able to remain sober and abstain from alcohol?"
I genuinely.
What do you think?
It's tricky.
Mm.
I want to say, you see, I'm feeling good. I want to say yes, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it on my own yet. The program it was meant to be 24 months, and they said I'm looking good. It's going to be about 12 months. And I think I'm going to stick it out with the implant, because there's a part of the implant that creates a discipline, because I'm scared to get sick and end up in ICU.
Yeah.
So I'm respecting myself and respecting the implant in that sense. But can I cold turkey right now on my own? I don't think so.
I think it's also one of the things that'll help hold you accountable, because for me, I think the gym holds me accountable, right? And sometimes I said to you that even if it is a placebo effect, but it helps you. I'll make an example with these money rituals that people do, you know. I am a firm believer that helps strengthen your faith in whatever it is that you believe in.
Yeah.
So going there and taking imali and throwing it into the river or the ocean, or taking salt and pouring it into a on a Sunday.
And a cup, and then you wash your hands.
And you wash your hands. Ultimately, I don't think those things do anything.
Yeah.
But they're a physical representation or manifestation of your faith that you have inside, which helps strengthen it, because when you do something physically, it helps you believe that this thing is going to work.
It's going to work.
So I think that your implant might be helping you with that.
Yeah.
I do think that you probably do have the willpower to raw dog it.
I think so as well.
But I think that it also just helps you in the way that you move as well. Even if it's not about being sick, it's just that I've committed to this thing and it's a reminder.
It's also just neurologically I'm being worked on. The implant is working on my neurological sort of sense. So the implant is being supported by ADHD medication, by antidepressants, so it's a whole thing that's carrying me right now. And I think if I were to take away the implant and just have these other meds, it would feel weird.
But at some point, I mean, it's going to
happen. Yeah. But by the time, I'm going to be even stronger. I mean, and now at 4 months, I say I don't know because I'm a little bit nervous and I still have these dreams about relapsing. But that's my subconscious playing a game on me. But,
tell me about the dreams about relapsing.
Dude, I had one this week. Yeah. I have this dream where I'm driving, looking around for alcohol. And where I can find alcohol. But it's funny, in the dream I never drink it. I always just find myself paying for it, and then as I get into the car, something distracts me and I can't drink it, or I wake myself up. Because you know how black people are with drinking in a dream and eating in a dream. Now my whole life is a ritual now. So I wake myself up. But I think it's just the brain playing its games on me.
Yeah.
Because I really want to be sober. I wanted that badly. That the devil is a liar, and he'll just, the devil is a liar. Yeah.
Victory is mine. Yeah.
We were singing that on our way here. The devil is a liar, so he'll be like, you can't do this, you can't do this. But I wake up and I pray against it. I'm just like, it can't be. I'm not going to relapse. Samora, I'm not going to relapse.
I have thoughts of, and when I speak about it, I call it an emptiness sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there was always that relying on alcohol to make certain experiences feel fuller. I've spoken out about how, for me, just the cheersing, the this, the that, was always just so great. The sneaking off and ordering more shots. And
never above you, never below you, always beside you.
So now there's certain experiences. I mean, I still do some of that stuff sober, but sometimes you feel like I miss the mess. I miss being out until 6 o'clock in the morning and kind of stumbling in and being like, ooh, waking up the next day and being like, I don't remember what happened last night, but I know it was a lot of fun. Sometimes those things I do miss, but I also find that a lot of the time I miss the self-sabotaging.
That's crazy.
In my mind, I had wired it so much to, when things are going well in my life, to use alcohol or use the excuse of celebration, but it's actually self-sabotage. And now I'm doing all of these things and things are coming together and they're working out and this and that and whatever. But there's always that little fear of things working out. So now sometimes I do want to go and drink and sabotage everything that I've built because it's familiar.
The devil is a liar.
Yeah, because it's familiar. But I mean, I won't.
Because I'm sitting and I'm thinking about how much you have achieved since you've been sober. And that's just the little, Chicken Licken, and they say the little devil on the back. That's a monkey on your back, man. And I trust you enough to not do that. But I also do respect you enough. I respect you for being able to, blatantly say that you miss the self-sabotage. There is every single human being has that thing in them. I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
Swanks,
Yeah.
we're out of time. We didn't touch any of the other things that I said we were going to speak about. But I did say it is a continuous journey. And of course, as someone who has started their sobriety journey almost alongside the starting of this podcast, you are not a friend of the show. You are a part of the show.
Yay.
And, I'm going to say it now. If one day I'm unable to do the show, this is the person that needs to do it.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
So yeah, thank you so much, my dear. And
thank you, love.
As we kick off the year 2026, I pray for great things in your life. And I know that you're going to achieve them, because at this point in time, your dedication to your sobriety and yourself. Congratulations on the play.
Thank you. We wrote it and people have been coming up to me telling me how they think they've got a drinking problem. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't realize it would reach so many people in so many ways, but the feedback was amazing.
No, we need to do it again.
We need to do it again.
We need to do it again. And hopefully we'll be able to make some money and sponsor as well, buy some t-shirts.
Hey, please do.
771
No. We're not joking.
Yeah, no.
We're not joking.
But thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you, man.
And with that, it's time for us to close it off. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 13 of the Best of Me podcast. Remember, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms at the Best of Me pod. Also on YouTube, please like, subscribe, switch on the notification bell so you're notified every single time that we upload a new episode on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I have to keep telling people that there is no one right way to be a rape survivor. There's no one right way to disclose your truth. There's no one right way to seek justice. There's no one right way to healing. But people like to compare, never once considering that our world is set up to not believe survivors.